So today we had our weekly Warriors Den live stream, and we finally got some information. Actually, we got a lot of information, so instead of boring you with a bunch of bug fixes, I'll only talk about what I feel is important. So let's talk about my favorite bit of news first, and that's that finally we got word that assassin backdodging will no longer be an issue in the next patch. So basically, backdodging will be standardized to having an 1100 millisecond full recovery for every hero in the game. What this means is that no one in the game can just backdash away from all forms of danger anymore. Basically what happens is that when you dodge backwards, there will be 1100 milliseconds before you can dodge again, which may not sound like a lot, but this nearly doubles the recovery time for assassins, who were at a measly 500 milliseconds before this. You'll be able to re-enter combat at 800 milliseconds, so we won't be punishing too many things with our back dodges anymore. But personally, I'm fine with this. The only thing I'm not sure about is whether or not this will affect dashes that are in an angle to the left or the right. And as you can tell by the excitement in my voice, this is really good news. The next thing I want to talk about is going to make some people happy and some people not too happy. So Centurion is finally getting a buff. 2 buffs actually. So first up, Cent finally got his health buff. He's going to go from 110 health to 120 health, which may not sound like much, but now Centurion has the same amount of health as all the other assassins in the game, which is funny because we just talked about his health a couple days ago. The next thing that's happening to Centurion, which is much more important in my opinion, is that Centurion will finally get a light heavy chain. To some this may sound dumb and pointless, but this basically means Centurion can actually do something other than get parried for throwing out more than one light attack. Currently, Centurion can only follow up a light attack with another light attack, and this made his next attack pretty predictable since there was no variation to the follow-up. But now with a feintable heavy on the way, Centurion now has a chance to be more aggressive. Also, one more small thing, Centurion's left light attack does regular damage now. For some odd reason, before his left light did less damage than the rest, so that's no longer a problem. Next thing I want to quickly throw out there is that arena mode is finally coming to For Honor in the next patch. So with this comes the practice mode at the start, and then a week later we'll get the maps added to Duel and Brawl. There's 3 different arena maps, each of them based off one of the factions in the game, and the maps have no ledges or traps or anything, so it's just a heads up fight. We don't have too many details on arena mode just yet, but next week we'll talk about it more in depth. Another thing is that lag compensation is on the way, as I've been saying, but only for PC for the first week. So console players will have to wait a week before we get lag comp. What lag compensation will do is add a short little buffer window before each attack so that they won't seem to be coming out of nowhere all the time. Now this won't solve all the problems of course, since it's still really early on, but improvements will be made to it, so give it a little time before we start to bash on it. And the last big thing I want to bring up is that controller remapping has finally made its way into the game. Now you can rebind any input in the game to any button you want, except for zone attacking. I know that zone attacking is sort of the thing that everyone wanted, but for now this is what we get, and I'll admit it's better than nothing. So that's it for the big news in my opinion. There's a couple other things like the quit penalty being removed for the time being in casual matches, new elite outfits on the way, a bunch of visual bug fixes, a fix to reflex guard making them more reliable, there's a buff to deflex so that they auto deflect multiple attacks during a gank, and they hinted at Orochi and Valkyrie getting their reworks, so I chalk them up as the ones on the rework list. Overall, this is a pretty good patch. It's got a couple things that this game has needed for quite a while. Do I think that it will resolve all of our problems? Of course not, but this is the first patch we've gotten in like 2 months, so I'll take it at this point. Anyways, that's all I got for this video. I really don't want to bore you guys with everything that's included in the patch, so we'll end it here. As usual, I want to hear you guys' opinion on this, so let me know how you feel about the patch, and as usual, if you like the video, feel free to leave a like and sub if you're new, and I will talk to you guys in the next video.